What's up, everybody? My name's Slayer. Thank you for coming back to another episode on the channel. So today we are teaching ourselves how to drift. Yeah, this is not going to be a very fun episode for me because the only two experiences I have with drifting is Need for Speed Underground and Forza Horizon, and it's only been on the controller. This episode we will be doing it on Assetto Corsa, and we will be using the steering wheel. So let's get into it and see how far we can come in 7 days. There will also be a comparison at the end of the video on day 1 and day 7. So if you want to see that, make sure you stick to the end and make sure you like the video. Now for day 1, this is just when I just barely got out on the track. I haven't even made a full complete lap yet. If you can tell, I'm not doing very good. Now, I also didn't look at any drifting guides. I have not installed any mods at this point or anything like that. Now, we will install mods later, and throughout this whole 7 days, I refuse to look at drifting guides. Now, we spent out a lot in the first couple days. I'm halfway tempted to put a spin out counter in the top of the corner, but I think I'm not going to do that because it'll just embarrass me. About an hour in, I decided to switch cars because I thought it was the car that was making it so I could not drift. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the car. I still suck. But after that last spin out, not too long after, I actually got my first resemblance of an actual drift. But yeah, I still spun out. I decided to actually go into the center of the drift track, and this is where I basically spent the rest of the day is practicing in the center here because they're nice wide open corners and I can actually try to drift them, which seemed a lot easier than trying to do the tight, more technical corners. Even though you can't see it on my face, I was actually super happy about that one. Like, that was my first actual, like, lighting up the tires and holding the drift through the turn. Now we're going to go ahead and skip ahead a little bit in the day. The last clip, we were probably about an hour to an hour and a half in. Now we're probably closer to about 4 hours in at this point. We're slowly getting better at holding the drifts, but we are still having a hard time controlling them while we're inside the drift, so we're still hitting a bunch of stuff. We are also starting to get a little bit better at our transitions. We're coming up to the end of day 1, and at this point I probably linked a good 5 or 6 drifts. We have been on for about 5 or 6 hours at this point, and the issue with all this is I was actually starting to actually hold drifts and everything like that, and it made an issue for day 2. On day 2, we did go ahead and switch to the BMW E30 because I thought it was better than the one that I was using. Spoiler, it really isn't because it doesn't have nearly as much power. Now, I hate this section I linked. I hate this section more than any other section throughout this whole 7 days. And it's because it gave me a big head. So what happened was basically after this section, it made me think that I was better than what I thought I was. And I left this track about 10 minutes after I did this section. And I wish I didn't. and the reason why is because my basics were still very, very shaky. I couldn't do links continuously very well. I was having a hard time clutch kicking to keep the rear end out and everything like that. It was not the correct time for me to leave. Now, if I could give any advice to anyone who's trying to learn how to drift for the first time, do not get a big head because you start linking a couple drifts, please, because this actually sent me back basically a whole day. The last clip was really the only good drift that I had on this whole track, and I probably stayed here for probably about an hour, way longer than what I should have. These were probably the first good drifts I've had in about 2 to 2.5 hours at this point, without spinning out and actually hitting the drifts the way I wanted to. We're going to go ahead and cut to day 3 now because nothing else happened on day 2 that was very out of the ordinary. Now the first thing you'll notice on day 3 is I actually got mods working. So, yep, we have modded cars and everything like that now. The other thing you are going to notice is we are back on the test track, and that is because on day 3 I went back and started to really pound out my basics. Day 2 showed me that I had too much of a big head and I needed to go back and really work on my basics. Me personally, I think day 3 is where I made the most amount of progress out of all 7 days. Now, to be honest, not a whole lot of stuff happened on day 3. We basically just went in a circle a bunch of times. And we also did this transition a bunch of times. But we're going to go ahead and move on to day 4 because that is literally all we did on day 3. Day 4 is where I found my favorite track and car combination. So I'm using the 180 SX. I can't remember what mod pack it's from, and then I'm using Project Toge for the track, and this is basically the track I stay on for the rest of my time. Now, I get some of my best drifts while on this track. Also, I just want to say a heads up, day 5 and day 6, the recordings are not in the best quality. I don't know what the hell happened, but I'll put annotation in the video so you guys can skip it if you guys prefer. Just want to state, this car is an amazing car to drift with. It has about 800 horsepower, but it became a crutch for me because it basically has so much power that it was very forgiving to you. I would probably recommend, while you're learning, stay with a car between 200 and 400 horsepower. Don't go into the higher horsepower cars. But if you guys are trying to learn how to drift, I would highly recommend Project Toge. After you get your basics down on the basic drift map, it is a super fun map to just drive around. It's huge. As you can see, it's dark out right now, and I've been on this map for probably 3 or 4 hours at this point, just drifting around and everything, and just having fun. This is one small issue of it though. There is a glitch if you go up on a wall by accident and you flop back down. One of your tires will get stuck underneath the map and you basically have to reset yourself. Alright, we are on to day 5 now. As you can see, what I meant by the quality, it just completely dropped. For some reason my screen is moved over, so I use a 38-inch wide screen, and I got OBS basically set at 2560 by 1440. So I center the screen so you guys can see the main thing, and then I have all my widgets and everything on the sides. Well, for some reason, I don't know what the hell happened here. So, I just realized we're on day 6, not day 5. I don't know where I got confused or what happened. Because I didn't start trying to do online stuff till day 6, and my shirt's the same. So maybe I wore the same shirt 2 days in a row. I have no clue. But this is day 6. We did do some online stuff. Now, I'm not going to show much of this because the quality is so horrible. We did a whole bunch of online stuff on day 7. Basically, day 7 was all online. To be honest, I'm just waiting for me to spin out before I cut to day 7. God damn, I'm going for it. There we go. There's the spin out I was looking for. Now day 7 is where using that high horsepower car really came and bit me, because usually on servers, from what I found, every car is about 200 to 400 horsepower, and I was having a very hard time keeping the back end sliding through turns. I could not keep it. It took me a lot longer than what it should have to actually be able to drift correctly. These clips are from a little bit later in the day after I got used to the cars. I don't have earlier clips because I deleted them because I was just spinning out and ruining people's tandems, and I felt horrible. Now I did try 2 other servers besides this one. Um, One of them was dark, so I couldn't see anything in the video at all, which was very frustrating. And then the other one was that same server that I was at on day 6, and there was so many people there. It was very hard to do anything. So I basically spent the whole day on this server. This server is one of my favorite servers. This is full send server. Um, the roads are nice and wide, and it seems like they're very willing to let new drifters like me come in and join their tandems and try to learn how to tandem and everything like that. We did switch up cars to this car. I can't remember what it was called. I am sorry, guys. I'm not the greatest with Japanese import car names. This car did handle like a boat a little bit, but we did get our first tandems in this car. So I will show those here in a little bit. I just want to show you guys that how this car handles first. Alright guys, remember I've only been drifting for 7 days, and when you watch these next couple clips, I know some of them I was not close enough to really consider tandeming, but they're the best I have. If you guys want to try to help me learn how to tandem a little better, just leave it in the comments. I'll probably, since this video is done, I'll also probably start looking at some YouTube videos on how to control my car better, because I think that's the biggest thing I'm having issues with is car control. But guys, I think that's going to be the end of the video. The next clip is just going to be a side-to-side comparison of day 1 and day 7. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!